Hello.
Also, technically, somewhere.
Oh, there we go. I love it when we go live and everyone's like unexpected. It's beautiful. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, once again to Sigil Confidential, our fantasy noir campaign here in the City of Doors at the epicenter of the multiverse. That was Tember you heard as we logged in. Tember, say hi.
Tember.
He is now.
I feel like this will be the
Tember.
rank. Tember.
Every time you kill somebody, they're gonna go Tember. It's a dual meaning.
Smash.
All right, so would anyone like to recap for us?
I suppose I can take a crack at it this time.
All right, go for it. Let's hear what you got.
Okay, to properly set off our latest arc, lovingly named A Pound of Flesh, Don't Fear the Mimir.
You're welcome for that, by the way.
I do appreciate this awful pun, and I'm sure everyone else does too. But the group still reeling somewhat from the latest series of setbacks, mysteries, and murderous escapades with the angler came off of their lovely evening down at the distillery and pub, the Wickle Tongue, everyone's favorite, with a few arrivals to the office. First, we had a visit from a very shifty and yet impeccably dressed and groomed dwarf who only gave his name as John, I think. He wanted some stuff. He's kind of a weird guy. It seems like somebody had stolen his own knowledge of his greatest wish, and he wanted us to help him out with that. We were in the midst of arranging a sort of, service for service arrangement when we got a visit from Ani, the largest of the Harmonium guards.
Uh-huh.
I assume. Do they have a bigger one?
Well, it's not impossible.
Anyways, they wanted to summon Stapleton Investigative Services down to handle a murder. Somewhat unusual here in Sigil. Not the murdering part, the handling part. Murder, normal. Doing something about it, not very often. But with us in somewhat dire straits, both for money and for lack of anything really to do with our time except sit around and worry, we took the job. Also, it's a bad idea to turn them down generally, especially when they've got Arnie at your door.
Yeah, he's a big guy.
Yeah. So, took a ride down to the scene. Local famous and infamous tout, Kylie, had been killed. And the scene was quite grisly. We began investigating, and shortly after Jimmy essentially destroyed somebody's hard work, we had yet another arrival, Tember, who you may have heard here at the very beginning of our session. Tember. But he had been subcontracted apparently by the Dustmen for some investigations, and we have a suspicion he might be hanging around in the future. He was able to spot that the murder was in fact an art installation arranged into the general shape of a map of the abyss, as seen from above. This information in tow, as well as some other crack investigating by our very own master as to the eventual fate of Kylie's animal companion, we basically got nothing.
Well,
which is not exactly the truth. We learned a great many interesting things gleaned from the crime scene, but we do not, as of yet, have any real lead on who may have done it, what the motive might have been. So we have a great deal of follow-up work to do. But I think that's about where we left
that's
off.
very good. Very good. You guys did a bang-up job as far as CSI work. CSI Sigil. Yeah, you guys did a bang-up job. You gleaned a whole mess of information out of the murder scene. So I know you guys returned back to the home office after that.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna start with the day after. We've had a night to kind of unwind. Some people are doing their own things. John has returned to his faction headquarters to report in. Kong is curled up with your trusted foo dog companion Pohan by the fire. Tember, are you with the crew here at the headquarters, or have you reported in anywhere else or gone to do anything else?
When we left the apartments, it looked like the work was done for the day. So he walked off into his general. He went home, figuring he could go find them tomorrow when we go back on the case. But yes, he went back to his own place.
So, where is he? I did have a mini for him, I thought. There he is. Okay. I was gonna say I knew I had one. All right, so I'm going to put him down here next to John, just for ease of use. Bryn, are you off running the rails yourself here?
Yep, the ghost is out running the rails and meeting with clients as she is
I'm going
wont
to put
to
the
do.
three of you down there. Nil, Master. Yeah, where are you two?
If possible, the master's like walking by Jimmy's office to see if the door was left open.
All right. Well, Jimmy, where are you in that regard?
I would actually probably be in the office, given that this is like early morning, I
All
assume.
right, so we'll put you up there in the office. And the master is walking by. Bump, bump. There you go.
Yeah, do I see anyone? Like, as I'm casually...
You'll see the light on in his office. I doubt he's trying to hide it.
No. This is it's where I always am. Apart from a very recent and pleasant evening, I don't sleep much.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see how well this goes. First stealth roll of the night.
Okay.
To try to stealth through an open door, if it's open. Is it open?
It's open. Yeah, it's slightly ajar.
Let me just be the most superstitious person ever and roll a couple of d20s to get the ones out.
It's also slightly a door.
It is slightly. It's mostly a door and only slightly
Exactly.
ajar.
Nice.
Are you warming up the D20 there?
Yeah, just...
You got to crunch through the first couple of
clackety.
first couple of bytes of that random number generator.
Yeah, one in person for
Very
luck.
far. Oh, there you go.
And that's the one. There it is. Okay.
See, you found it.
Nice.
All right.
They tried to sneak it in there on you. They hid it in the local dice.
Nice. This is gonna be so bad. All right.
Are you ready?
Hood up so I have
Of course.
advantage, right?
Let's see what you got. 28. Look at that.
Yes!
There it is.
There it is. Yes, I needed this
The
so
master
badly.
disappears
Oh my
from
goodness.
reality.
I'm going to oppose it, even though I'm pretty sure my numbers just don't go that high.
At disadvantage. At disadvantage.
Yeah,
Because the hood. Good luck. You got this.
yeah, we're gonna see. Let me
Here comes your
check
nat
what
20.
on
Come
earth
on.
my number even is.
You
Okay,
got this. Here comes your
if
nat
I
20.
roll
Come on.
2 20s,
You got this. Wouldn't
Watch
it be
it
funny if you
happen.
still saw me? Oh my goodness.
I think you're
Oh.
good. I think you're
Yeah.
good.
You pull out a little can of oil and you oil the hinge that I intentionally leave squeaky on my office
If anyone
door.
would know you well enough to do that.
Yes, this is true.
All right, so
You have snuck the hell up on me.
yes, you have poofed into the room.
Great.
So Jimmy is sitting at his desk.
He is sitting there. He is writing into a small book.
What's he writing?
How close can you get? His handwriting is bad.
Yeah.
I kind of want to be right behind you.
All right.
All right. That's a
Yeah,
good ass roll. I'm not even going to try and oppose it.
I was
again,
going to say,
honestly.
with that roll, we'll let that one go.
Sure, but I might ask you to roll to interpret my chicken
That's
scratch.
That's fair.
I mean,
Jimmy's formal education was
no.
somewhat later in life. His handwriting never recovered from
It's one of the
this.
things Stapleton never got
Is
a
that
chance
Arcana?
to talk
Is
to
it-
Arcana. You know what? Because it's hilarious.
Arcana because I suck
Because
at
it's
Arcana.
hilarious, let's go with Arcana. You're trying to read the
Ooh.
mystic scribblings of Jimmy.
Oh my goodness.
That's hilarious.
I forgot to do the thing. There it is. All right.
You got
Arcana.
this. You're on a roll.
Normal.
No pun intended.
Okay. Okay, just don't make it terrible. Just okay. I know it's a low modifier. Come
You
on.
got this?
Just okay. Okay. Okay, no. Yeah, I didn't think I was gonna get that. I was just like whispering to the dice, come on, just don't roll a 1. That's all I need you to do. Just don't.
It looks
roll
like
a
a
1. Just don't.
maybe a shopping list. Maybe.
Are
You
those
might see
hieroglyphs?
like eggs on there, but it doesn't make a lot of sense.
Maybe he's drawing a picture.
What language is this? I feel like that's a nose. Is that a nose?
Are you saying this out loud?
Did you
No.
say that out loud?
No, no. I'm just like, I have the most puzzled expression, like white guy blinking, and just like I can't. I had to wipe my eyes because I can't even. I don't know what
Blink,
that
blink.
is.
Blink, blink.
Yeah.
He's focusing on it very closely. This is apparently important to him.
Is that a cat asking for
Out of-
lasagna?
Out of character, is this a good time?
Hit whatever, you know.
All right.
I roll with it.
Okay. So, I would like to do something that I do not do a lot.
Okay.
I would like to roll for intimidation.
Whoa.
Go
I
on.
love how the music and everything paused just for that. That was some timing.
Not because I want to intimidate him. I just want to see how intimidating it would be to have me sneak into this room and say what I'm about to say.
Depending on what you're about to say, I don't think you sneaking into the room is going to be intimidating because Jimmy's very used to that behavior from the master.
Fair. Fair. Maybe not at all.
But
Tell me,
depends on what
okay.
you can. I mean, it's a roll. A roll's a roll. Whatever you're trying to say, you can make it in an intimidating manner.
I'm not trying to make this a confrontation. I just want to see if it was coincidentally
Yeah,
intimidating.
go for it. Let's see what you got.
Like you jump a little bit and you're like, oh. Or maybe I make you sneeze. That would be funny.
Go for it. Let's see if you can.
Let's find out. I will react as Jimmy.
All right, just not a nat 1. I don't want to be a clown today. Come on, just okay. Work with me on this. All right, we did well on the stealth roll. We didn't do so hot on the Arcana, but we can do this. Okay, just work with me on this dice, please. Come on, I'm having a moderately good day. Come on.
Praise be to RN Jesus.
Oh.
It's not
All
a
right. It wasn't a nat. It wasn't a nat
was
1.
not
That's
a
what I
one.
asked for. That's what I asked for.
It's not
All
a
right.
one.
So as you sit here in this office looking at whatever Garfield cartoons you're writing, behind you you hear, "Keep an eye out, Jimmy."
All right, now, good Sir Church, remind me the opposing roll to intimidation. I'm gonna give Master a chance here.
I honestly, I
Why?
don't normally give an opposing roll for that one. It's more of a pass-fail.
Why would you need to oppose a 7?
In this particular case, I think it came across as the master's antics rather than, oh my god, that's scary.
All right, that's fair.
It's a
You're
7.
You know, the master has an air and a quality about his personality, and always has. Out of all of you, the master has been an actually very comforting constant, except internally, which you guys very seldom get any peek into, because the master is very closed, except for the closest to him, and even then, probably a little
Reclusive almost.
bit aloof, maybe even. But yeah, no, it's one of those things where you're like, oh, jeez, really, you know.
All right, so well, I'll play it like this then. Because Jimmy recognizes that it is Master immediately, we will say that he is neither incredibly surprised that you have snuck up on him, although he's very impressed. Like, this one was so smooth that it has stood out to him as being a particularly good drop-in.
Yeah, we're both rogues. This is surprising.
I appreciate the craft, but you're one of the few people that he has just total faith in. So even if you had been incredibly intimidating, he does not expect any harm to come from Master. So he pauses for a moment with the pen over the book. He sets the pen aside and I don't know, Church, I feel like the tech level in Sigil is like drip pins at best, and I'd have to sprinkle some sand on there to dry
Possibly,
it or whatever.
yeah. Or a blotter.
Yeah, so he does that. Blots his page. He says, Master, you know I'm trying. I don't think it's going to work on you, honestly, but everybody else, I'm trying my best.
Yeah. I don't know how well you can try that, sitting in here by yourself in your office without input from anyone else.
A man's home is his castle, is it not? It's not like, say, death slods continuously fire bolts through the windows, or I blow holes in the floor to get back in.
So just at that moment, as you say those words, you hear I wasn't looking at her. She just walked by and asked me a question. God! From down below.
Okay. This is relatively difficult for me because I don't usually ask people this. But you know I have a brain, right?
Quite frankly, Master, I've always assumed you've got it more together than I do.
Yeah, so why do you leave me out there with the new guys? Like I haven't been here this entire time when you need to think about something.
Master, you're right. Things have been such a rush for the last couple of weeks in particular that I've honestly not been thinking much. Just had to roll with the punches. But now that things have settled a little bit, I do think you're right. I think we need to really probably sit down more often to go over these damn notes. And he gestures at his book.
Yeah, what is that?
Where's my notes? And he brushes the sand back off now that it's absorbed some of the inks, and he says, I've got all the crime scene down in here. He says the blood and fur that you found on the window seems to have been trailed from the Ethic.
Is that a
Footprint
cue?
sketch. He holds up the page. The sketch is rather good. The handwriting around the sketch is rather bad.
Oh. What?
Anyways,
You know,
you are
plot
right.
twist. Plot twist that he's writing in Thieves' Cant, and I just forgot it for a second. Like, think about what I sent you before, and think about how good that would be.
That would be really funny. Oh, I don't know. It's been so long since I referred to like the base rogue class section. Is there even a written version of Thieves' Cant, or is it purely a jargon and hand?
I have always imagined that it was spoken as a mixture of hand signs and odd slang used in crafty ways. But there is a written version that's probably very similar to the old hobo code system that they used to use way back in the day.
I will say that that's the only part of the page you can read.
All right.
If it's in common, it's useless to you.
Yeah, no, probably. And I guess getting back to it, yeah. All right. That's fair. You know, I was gonna ask you how you think you can keep an eye out for anything being in here by yourself. But the fact that I keep saying keep an eye out doesn't seem to be ringing any bells for you.
Jimmy strokes his chin.
So maybe I should just be completely obvious and ask you how you can keep an eye out for anything happening in here when you can't even see me when I'm standing right next to you.
Things that happen in here can only really kill me, and I'm less worried about that. So, if you personally decide to walk up behind me and slit my throat, Master, we'll just get to see if I bleed anymore, you know? That's just how it goes.
That escalated quickly.
Apart from that, you know I don't really sleep much anymore. And it gets really quiet. Quiet as it gets in the hive, I guess. And I like to just kind of hide out in here till the morning comes around, until people start moving again.
Yeah. I don't
Is it
really
the safest place in the world? If I wanted that, we honestly should have rented somewhere else. But
maybe the ladies' ward.
Yeah, I don't have the scratch for that. You think we should step up security, Master? What are you feeling?
I think you shouldn't set such great score by the observations of Draken. I think that no one here wants to hurt you. And I think that people say things about themselves and come into their own honesty in their own time. So, keeping an eye out for something that isn't harmful to you, that isn't impacting you in any way, is unnecessarily snooping.
He's rubbing his palm very slightly. I'm sure you can imagine which one.
Yeah. Nil's here because they want to help you. The she
Not
thing
Nil,
was
I'm
me.
afraid of, Master.
The she thing was me, by the way. I hate myself.
We all try very hard to remember. But Jimmy's rubbing his palm and he says, "It's not Nil I'm afraid of."
Oh, look, here's the D4. Let me just see how much emotional damage I did myself. Let me just check.
In fact, if Nil can send
That's a 3.
that eye around, I think we'll be all the better for it.
Yeah.
I'm being honest, it's the donkey.
Oh. Don't even get me started on almond milk. The entire Star Wars trilogy. Didn't say a word. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
So, no.
Yeah.
I don't know if Nil asked you for this or if this is your thinking, but if you want Nil to keep surveillance up, by all means. Sometimes we do have to have a little confidentiality for our clients. And then, might have to ask the eye to leave the room. But apart from that, I don't have much of a problem with it, Master.
Fair.
He kind of kicks back in the chair a little bit. He's coming properly awake and alive for the day. What you think on the current case? Honestly.
I have a tough time with it. I really don't know where to go with this. I have an idea where we're headed, but I hope that I'm wrong.
I think we might be heading to Plague-Mort, honestly, and I hope I'm wrong too. I don't know. This is a weird one. Honestly, we were lucky that new guy, Tember, wound up at the scene, because I did not spot. Supposed to be a map. One, I'm not an artistic type. Two, that's pretty crazy to begin with.
Yeah, 3 and it required a particular perspective.
Yeah, if only I was 2 foot taller,
How tall are you?
He's a little below 6, I think. I think he's like 5'11".
Yeah, don't wish that.
5'8".
I think we're
Yeah.
like you, and I'm like, rather not.
But Jimmy's scratching his head a little bit. I think we just work it by the numbers here at the beginning. I want to go hit the neighbors. I want to go hit the other touts. Since we're working for the hardheads on this one, I'm pretty sure people will at least talk to us.
Yeah, that's fair. And if they don't, we can still talk to them.
Of course, of course. It's been a while since I've had a real opportunity to use the skill, but they don't call me the mouth for nothing.
Looks over at you in concern, because that's not what I meant. Alright.
We gotta go talk to the guy that got locked up too before they kill him.
Yeah, at some point today I'm going to have to get my subscription to that newspaper that you're always getting.
Oh, I don't subscribe.
What is that, the
Kid
Daily
down the
Chant?
street, they've got a pile of them.
Maybe I could stop by in the mornings then. Just bring it in.
Can I
Hey,
can I get the two of you to give me a perception check real quick, please?
Most
reason
definitely.
Just a reason to be in the office in the morning anyway. Perception, that's the wrong character. That would not be good. That's a 3 for that one and a 9 for this one. Okay, okay. Normal.
I'm so grateful for that +9.
Come on. Okay, don't. Okay. Don't. If you're thinking of doing what I think you're doing, don't do it. Don't do
You
it.
got this.
Okay? Do not don't embarrass me, okay? Oh yes!
Beautiful.
So, simultaneously, the first thing you hear is Kong beelining for his room and slamming the door, followed by Pohan, who comes and sits outside your door, Jimmy, peeking in, looking at you. You get the sense that he has something he wants to say, but doesn't want to disrupt what's going on.
Pohan can see me?
Yes, Pohan can see you.
He's pretty
Nice.
good at that. Jimmy sort of gestures him in as if it's just business at the moment, so he's not really interrupting much.
You have visitors, Jimmy. And as he says that, you actually hear somebody coming up the stairs.
What kind? Should I grab the sword or should I grab the smile?
You know, you haven't been here very long, Jimmy. A decent while. I don't think you've had the pleasure of this particular couple. Let's just say don't let them know that Kong's here.
I'll keep him on the down low.
Good deal. I'm gonna go keep Kong in his room.
Go for it. Go for it.
So you hear a pair of footsteps followed by a slightly smaller pair coming up the stairs. The door kind of creaks open, and you hear a woman's voice and a man's voice conversing in the main lobby there in your office. The woman is going on about being able to sense spirits in the room, and that she's getting a message from the beyond, and something about a doll. And you hear the man kind of breathing heavy as he's catching his breath from going up the stairs.
Master, we should probably handle this real fast.
Fair.
Jimmy gets up and he walks in.
Standing in your lobby. Oh, this is going to be fun. Is this couple. Hopefully that's shared for you. All right.
Okay.
So yeah, it's a man and a woman. The woman she has her hand on her forehead, and she's got one hand out. She's looking around with her eyes closed, with her hand. Keeps going on, and the spirits, they're talking to me. Can you hear them? Can you hear them? They're telling me the doll is somewhere close. He's somewhere close. Can you hear them? And the guy is answering. Yes. Ooh, let me catch my breath. Oh, it's got to be here. It's got to be here. Who are you? Are you the proprietor of this fine establishment?
I am, and there are no deadheads here besides me. I had the place certified by a priest when I moved
Deadhead? No, you don't understand. The demons are everywhere.
Yeah, there's at least a few of them out on the streets. You know, we are in the hive.
I don't think you understand. They're everywhere, sir. And my wife is a very powerful medium, and she assures me that the spirits have told her that the doll is here somewhere. You may be in danger, but that's okay. I, Ted, Warren, and my life, Lauren, we're here. We're here representing the new Outland Society for Psychic Research, and we have come to make sure that you are safe and everything will be okay. We just need complete and full access to the entire building, all of your records, and the keys to all the doors. And you're probably going to want to get out of here while we do our investigation.
Jimmy, over on the shelf is actually a pair of glasses that you might remember from way back when.
Yes, I do.
He's pulled them down off the shelf and he's polishing the lenses. And he says, "That's where I'm going to have to stop you now. We're perfectly safe here. This is my establishment. I'm not really under the inclination to turn any keys over to anybody. In fact, I don't have all of them. Whenever we need in, we just have Master pick the locks.
I have no idea who this master is. And as he lifts his hands out, pleading with you, his wife suddenly puts the back of her hand to her forehead, goes, "Oh, Ted, the energy here is so hostile. I don't know what I'm going to do. Oh, it's overwhelming, Ted. It's overwhelming. Catch me." And she falls back into Ted's arm, who catches her. The whole thing is an incredibly dramatic pantomime. There's a part of you that really appreciates what's going on here, Jimmy.
I have the actor feat. I can respect it.
So Lauren immediately says, please, just a place to sit and a glass of water.
Let's try the soft touch approach. And Jimmy says, yes, please, come right along, as he ushers them back down the stairs. I'll take a persuasion roll.
Go for it.
Shit.
Awesome. I love it.
What is this?
Is this Nil entering the room?
If possible.
Yeah.
If.
Very possible.
Let's call that the reason. Jimmy's making at least a moderate showing of leading them over, but Nil's coming up the stairs, and it makes it kind of impossible.
So you're completely blocked there.
Jimmy pauses for a moment. Huh. Hey, Nil.
So as Nil enters, and you kind of make your offer, Lauren slips through Ted's arms. It just collapses in a heap on the floor, and Ted immediately falls and goes, "Oh, my wife, my beautiful love, you've fallen. The spirits have overwhelmed you. Please, sir, just a small glass of water. Clear the room. Give us space."
Spirits.
Jimmy says, well, I would offer you some water. We don't really have a kitchen here, though. The only real way to get some water, you got to go downstairs. You got to head outside. You got to go down the street. You know how it is.
What kind of place doesn't have a kitchen? You know what? Never mind. We know the doll is here. The spirits have overwhelmed my wife.
I've been saying that.
We
need a kitchen.
I am an expert in these matters, sir. I am a well-studied demonologist. And I assure you, beyond any shadow of a doubt, despite what you may have been told, he leans in real close, demons are real.
Yeah. It's been a while since anybody tried to tell me otherwise. I mean, honestly, I bought this jacket from one. Not gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
So,
I get the feeling that they're just shysters trying to rob us.
So
But
Jimmy is,
I could be wrong here.
he flicks the glasses down over his eyes.
and as you flick the glasses down, Lauren sits up, bolt upright on the floor, and looks at each of you. Just shocked, like she's seeing you for the first time. But she focuses very heavily on Jimmy and the Master, and raises one hand shaky, pointing at both of you. It says, "Neither one of you should be here. That way was shut," and then falls back down.
Oh shit!
Jimmy does pause for a moment at that. He actually now, before there was no real cause to, he takes an actual second to evaluate these two. I'll make an insight check if necessary.
Okay.
How chumpish are they? Are they chumps down to the bone, or is there merely a surface layer of chumpishness?
Well, I'll let you roll, but I will say Ted did just try to convince you that demons are real in Sigil.
Yes. But This is more focused upon Lorraine. Having said
Lauren.
this.
Lauren Warrain.
Lauren. My bad. Lauren Warrain. Okay, there we go.
Interesting name.
So I would like to essentially take her measure. Jimmy's seen many a performance. Is this pure performance? Or is there
Give me an
something-
insight check.
There you go.
You know what? To be totally honest, you're just unsure. You can't get a. You just can't get a read. They seem genuine, but the things they're saying are a little bit ridiculous. Aside from what just happened.
Yes. Jimmy contemplates for a moment and decides the only thing that would be worse to have in the house than a fake psychic is a real psychic.
Don't say that out loud. Don't say that out loud.
Especially when they're trying to bust down all the doors and find what probably is a very cursed doll.
I was gonna say, Nil's in the room. No,
Jimmy
I know.
don't know that, and he didn't say that
Just
out loud.
joking.
So the glasses are flipped down. Lauren is mostly intermittently comatose. He's going to direct them at Ted?
Okay.
Ted.
Yeah, Ted Warren.
So, using the effect of the glasses, they are, of course, the eyes of Charming.
Mm.
Going to deploy Charm Person upon him.
All right.
He's like, listen, buddy, I think the spirits, they want you to leave. I think your wife's right. They're very hostile here. You ought to get out.
The effect completely passes over him. Like, you feel like it just fizzes out almost. Strangely. There was no resistance at all. It's like it just didn't happen.
Jimmy takes the glasses off and, like, shakes them. Yeah, I guess they were getting pretty old. He puts them back up on top of his hat.
Sir, look, I understand that you've probably never seen a demon. You probably don't even believe they're real. But I assure you, they walk the streets, they're in the shadows, hiding under your beds and in your cupboards. They mean you nothing but ill will and harm. My wife here, she can sense their presence. I have studied them intently in every tome and scroll and chalkboard scribbling that I could find. And I promise you, there is one in this building.
All right, I'm going to try something. Jimmy's voice goes very low. He says, okay, listen, I wasn't supposed to say this. I know what you're here for.
Oh, good.
It still echoes about this place, but it's not here any longer. I had it removed. I had to have the thing taken away. I can direct you to the guy I had taken.
Please, by all means. He looks around. The doll is beyond cursed. It's beyond evil. This is the pinnacle of our careers, finding this.
You're not wrong, and I greatly regretted having it in the building to begin with. Now, I have sold it on to a schmuck in the ladies' ward.
Excellent. Actually, he pulls out a pad and a stylus.
Jimmy gives him directions to the furthest building away that one can get in Sigil from this office.
Yeah, right. He writes it down. Strangely, like, Lauren immediately just kind of regains consciousness and stands up like nothing happens, brushes herself off. Good job, Ted. Good job. Let's go. Ted thanks you, reaches out to shake your hand.
Jimmy will
It's a
shake his
big,
hand.
sweaty meat palm that hits yours, and he just vigorously shakes it. Thank you so much, and you too. He reaches his hand out to the master.
He can see me?
Yes,
That's a good
he
question.
actually can.
I'll just look at his hand and look at him like, nope.
My associate does
Oh,
not do
fair.
this, but I wish you good luck.
Fair enough.
Good luck. Its curse was beyond my powers. I'm
Funny
merely
how
a
he
private
was me.
investigator, but I wish you good luck.
He turns around and nearly runs into Nil. He goes, "Oh, sorry. Hey, pleasure to meet you." Puts his meaty hand out.
And you? I say without speaking.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
His eyes get kind of wide, and
Now
he
leave.
skirts around you, and Lauren and Ted go rushing down the stairs. You hear the door slam behind them, and as it slams, you hear Zill from below go, "Damn it! Keep it down!" No, what? It's none of our business, but I'm sure it's important. Look, I've told them. I know this is our night. Stop it!
Maybe you should soundproof the basement. Did you ever
Can I be outside that door when they walk
Sure,
out?
Sure, I'll let that go.
All right, so they're gonna walk directly
Yes.
into me.
Oh, sorry. My apologies. Ted and Lauren, Warrain, you've probably heard of us. We're quite well known.
Pardon me, I am Tember. Excuse me?
No problem. You probably don't want to go in there.
Jimmy's walking down to make sure the door is both upright and very firmly locked.
Just a reminder of what I look like.
Oh,
Due to what I am, I've lost half my body weight.
oh yeah. No, I actually I'm looking at your image right now, and this is very entertaining.
Yes, I can pass for undead.
Yeah, they're real, like, ironically, they're so, like, excited right now that they're just eager to go around you. I mean, these people are just on fire about something. You're not sure what.
Okay.
Nice to meet you. Sorry to almost bump into you. Big Hurt, we got to go. There's something very, very important. You probably don't want to go in there. There's a whole taint and stench of evil and demons. Just beware. Thanks. Nice to meet you. Bye. Bye. They start
A
trotting
pleasure.
off.
I approach the door and I knock. Even if it's open, I knock on the door frame.
You catch Jimmy right as he comes down to close it. He says, "Oh! Are they gone?"
Yeah.
They have taken off. Yes, I believe they were rather excited.
All right, come in fast.
Okay, I step in. I'm here to assist you, like I said.
Jimmy's closing the door and dropping the bar on. He says, Good. Well, hell, we were just getting started for the day. Come on up. We'll have a quick meeting."
Sure, thank you.
All right.
All right.
Follow.
So Tember enters the room with up in the lobby there with Jimmy and the Master and Nil.
Okay. Well, that was weird.
Yep.
Honestly, I don't think I've seen one of those, God, since Cairn. Like back in the day. I mean, it was a little weird walking around up here right after we got here. You know, there's basically everything that there ever was out there on the streets, and they want to sell you a watch, but good old-fashioned crackpot. It's almost making me homesick.
So as you're talking, Pohan trots into the room, looks around and kind of sniffs the air, and it's like, oh God, are they gone?
Yeah, I got him out. I got him walking up to the ladies' ward, so they'll be gone hours
Right.
at least, even if they do come right
Okay,
back.
and you didn't tell them that Kong's here, did you?
No,
Thank God.
no.
Thank the gods. They've been dogging that poor child for a long time.
Why do they want the doll? Anybody in their right mind would want to be away from the doll.
You know, they're a bunch of barmy clueless. Let's be honest. Somebody peeled them. They're carrying a bunch of weird trinkets, cursed items. They got their dark all skewed. It's. I mean, for most of the locals here, it's comedy. But
It was a pretty good show. Although, the lady, she did say something, made me a little suspicious. I don't know.
what'd she say?
The truth, which you don't really expect to hear much around here.
Well, you know, they're so addled that you never know what's going to come out.
Yeah. You're probably right. I don't know. We'll keep an eye out for them, I guess. They're
Yeah. Well,
disruptive.
it looks like you've got more company than usual. I'm going to head back and just finish my nap. We're just going to do it back in the room, though.
All right, Pohan, you chill. Keep an eye on Kong. We just doing business, you know how
Oh,
it is. Well, looks like got the team for the day. Everybody pick your favorite chair. Let's go over some planning.
This is fair.
Okay.
So, first things first. Tember, we didn't have a long chance to chat about this last time, but what exactly are the terms of your contract with the Dustmen?
The terms are that I am to assist in figuring out what happened to her. In particular,
Beautiful.
they'd like the reclamation of her head.
All right. Consider yourselves duly deputized, then. You're an adjunct to the team until further notice. Anyways, I honestly can't even remember, we were so busy when last we met, but Jimmy, Master, Nil, he says, pointing respectively at himself, Master and Nil.
He, they, as you do that.
Mm-hmm. He allows other people to make their own particular preferences with that. For himself, he's not really sure if he counts anymore. You kind of have to be alive to have a gender.
It's fair.
If you're dead, you're just a corpse.
It's fair.
Disagree, but all right. Let's go with that.
But introductions duly made, Jimmy has sat in one of the central chairs in the room,
Yeah,
probably.
you should be able to move your mini if you want to move around.
Oh, yeah, that's right. So, given the sort of dearth of solid evidence at this stage, I'm thinking we approach it pretty traditionally. We've got one poor schmuck in custody, and we should probably run by before the hardheads kill him. They tend to do that sometimes. Apart from that, we hit the touts, we hit the neighbors.
So you want to do some canvassing, is what you're saying?
Oh yeah, I'm just talking it out with the team for right now, but that is, as far as Jimmy's concerned, the actual plan. He's giving everybody a chance to weigh in and make comments and see how they feel.
Fair enough. Are we just traveling on foot around the neighborhood, or?
Yeah, I figure we leg it. It's not like we're gonna get another bullet ride.
All right.
It's not every day you get a bullet ride.
What you saying, Timber?
Sounds like that sounds like a plan to me. I'm not much of a talker, but I will follow.
Jimmy looks at you suspiciously because he saw that plus 14 persuasion bonus last time. He knows a silver tongue.
That was a
In fact-
deception bonus and a knowledge
Deception,
bonus.
But the deception... In fact, I will allow Church to arbitrate this. Jimmy is in the speaking professions, you might say. So between you and is whether Timber's actually any different today, does he notice a difference? Does this stand out to him? Was he able to register?
You know, honestly, this is going to be a little bit beyond Jimmy's scope, most likely. Obviously, you always have a chance, but Timber's a bit of an enigma for you. This is something that you do not, you don't have any previous experience to compare to.
Oh yeah, I don't expect to understand anything at all about how he functions, but from Jimmy's lens of how he views people, he does understand acting, he does understand being drugged, he understands temporary changes of presentation for a person. Does he feel that this has happened with Tember?
Give me an insight check.
Aye.
Can I do one too, now that I'm not distracted by the viscera of the crime scene?
You can, although you've disappeared.
You just keep doing that.
I think we all.
Oh, did everybody go downstairs?
Except for me. I'm still hanging up, apparently, by
It's going to be even more
myself.
difficult.
Somebody left me in a
Oh, so
room.
you guys are doing this while you're out canvassing? Is that what it is?
I'm making the roll right before we leave, but we are on the
Okay.
way out the door.
Yeah, I don't.
That's
I don't
fine.
know. You know.
It's pretty low rolls, so I probably didn't get it, but you tell me.
From what you can gather, it's the same creepy, scrawny Timber.
All right.
Right.
You're welcome to, Master, if you'd like.
That was the wrong sheet. Wow. All right. Insight. Now that. Yeah, I don't know. I guess
Even still,
it was
it's
different.
you're not reading anything drastically different.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
Now-
I didn't really. I don't think I gave Tember an insight check as nil before because I was busy puking in the front yard.
Yeah,
like-
Neil wasn't doing very good.
So I just wanted to be like, hey, are you good people, kind of thing. You know, general. I don't know him well enough to know a difference.
Okay.
So
So I tell you what, it's all good. So you guys are going to go out canvassing, looking for information, witnesses, eyewitness accounts, that type of stuff, around the area where the crime happened. I assume.
The first was probably the guy who's locked up. Short dude was his name.
All right, so
Setros.
Setros the Short.
You're going to have to get into the Harmonium to do that.
Hey, I'm on retainer. They ought to let me walk in.
It is the Harmonium.
We're going to have to take a shot at it. Professionally, we are required to do the correct thing.
So, what you doing first? Let's say that. Canvassing or Harmonium?
I'm feeling Harmonium. Just because I'm worried they'll off the guy if we leave it till too late in the day.
All right. All right, so off to the Harmonium. Before we go too much deeper into that realm, I wanted to ask if Bryn, are you doing anything today over the course of today that I need to know about? Anything particular?
Just visiting clients, making money.
All right, so
Or making jink,
yeah,
I
getting
should
some
say.
jank. So nothing I need to know about though. Nothing that we need. Okay, good.
No.
All right.
I, if I may, would also, while they're talking to me, I'm going to be talking back, and in particular, would also like to do insight checks.
Okay.
We're gonna
To
have
them.
actually fun here because I was gonna do a thing. So
All right.
this is great.
This is not his forte, though. Alrighty. Just add a +1 to this.
Okay. I will.
Yeah, he's not very good at insight
That's
checks.
all right. That's all right. You're not. You're all kind of like trying to suss each other out. No one's getting anything negative.
Mhm. Yes. So, as we go about our business today, Jimmy will be essentially attempting to evaluate Tember, both his strengths and his not quite personality, but demeanor, how he goes about his
Okay.
business. I'll let you know because I'll be doing specific things for it. I just wanted to post you both up on that.
So, does anyone know offhand, and I'm asking this just out of curiosity, where the Harmonium's headquarters is?
Ah, shit, I'd have to pull up the map.
I mean, I know. I just seeing if anyone actually knows offhand. There's a good chance your character would.
I know someone who knows offhand. I want to say they're in one of the nicer wards, and one of the nicer wards is specifically nicer because they keep the place pretty much under lock and key. I don't know, where are they? The clerk's
The ladies'
ward?
ward.
Ladies' ward, that was it.
So yeah, it's the city's barracks and the ladies' ward. I just wanted to see if you knew.
Yeah.
It's all good.
I guess where you just said Ted and Lauren.
I know.
Flawless.
It's kind of brilliant. So you're making your way to the ladies' ward from where you're at, off to the city barracks to try and gain entry. So we're gonna cut to the chase a little bit, just to save time. We're gonna change a couple of these sound effects here. So as you're trucking through the city, sussing each other out, kind of eyeballing one another up and down, and trying to figure one another out, especially with Tember, you make your way into the ladies' ward, and up ahead you see the city barracks. Now the city barracks is a very long, low 2-story structure. It forms a quadrangle around a very large parade ground. The ladies' ward is, of course, some of the nicer areas in the location. Okay, no, I got that. Of course, it's covered with guards. There's people in formation. They're doing regimented training. The building itself is just, it looks really solid. It's very well built. As you approach the main gates of the building, you notice the streets around are fairly deserted, aside from members of Harmonium. There's not a lot of businesses in the area that you can see. A lot of those are lacking for reasons that some of you will already understand. That's just if a business breaks even the slightest bit of law, they're kind of immediately arrested. So it's not a real popular place to open shop. So you guys make your way up to the front gates, knowing that if you do happen to breach the law here, you're going to immediately be arrested. And I saw your stealth roll.
That's fine.
So, okay, you make your way to the main gates. There's two very burly guards, not a whole lot smaller than Arnie. Inside, they immediately cross their halberds in that traditional fashion in front of you, stopping your entry. And once again, in a very common manner, say, "State your business."
I have been contracted on behalf of the Harmonium to investigate a murder. I'm here to both arrange payments and to interview a suspect that you're holding.
Payments will be handled through the governors.
Fair enough. In that case, then I do still need to interview that
Suspect will not be interviewed by an outside party under any circumstances in accordance with Law 2468-7, Section 2.
All right. We're gonna take a shot at it. How familiar is Jimmy with the Harmonium legal code?
This ought to be interesting. I'm tempted just to go a straight intelligence check. I don't know how much he would have read up on this, honestly.
Jimmy has a lawful streak to him, honestly. Part of his professionalism, he would have looked at it. The question is he going to remember it offhand?
Tell you what, I'll give you an advantaged intelligence check. How about that?
Fair and fine. Thank God for advantage.
He must be right.
Obviously, all the Harmonium, they take that very seriously. Obviously, they've memorized the entire book.
I mean, he knows best, obviously.
Do they look particularly smart?
Well, I mean, it's hard to read them through that enormous plate mail helm. I mean, the Harmonium aren't known for being creative,
but occasionally known for being very rigorous.
Very.
He's going to try a different tactic.
Okay.
You may want to drop that occasionally. There ain't no occasionally about the Harmonium being rigorous.
No.
Some members are probably more apt for it than others, though I'm sure they all try.
Arnie does his best.
He does well. He's a blunt instrument, and sometimes you need that.
My name is Arnold.
Friends, obviously, I was hired by your very own faction. Would seem that your laws would not wish to see justice undone, and the interests of your faction certainly are to have this murder solved. Might there be some secondary law wherein suspects should be interviewed by designated subcontractors? And I would like to persuade them that, laws aside, they might want to find an interpretation of the rules that allows them to conduct their business.
Are you attempting to circumvent the laws?
I am not attempting to circumvent the laws. Jimmy's being very careful.
Are
with this
you
one.
legal counsel?
Possibly. Has he been appointed legal counsel yet?
I'm not at liberty to say.
This is a service I do offer amongst the range of my services, and if it's necessary to arrange this before interviewing him, I could do so.
You wish to represent the captive?
Jimmy
Might-
thinks
Might be conflict of interest there.
it's Sigil.
Both right.
Can I look at the guards? What are they? Do they have any sort of like torches on them?
Torches? No.
Okay. What do they have like on them?
Plate
Just
mail and a halberd.
weapons?
And a firm sense of right and
Yes.
wrong.
They are probably lawful stupid. That's their alignment.
Interesting. I would like to do a
Uh-oh.
thing.
Should I get a battle map out?
No. This is just something really stupid.
That you should I get a battle map out?
Yeah, no, I don't know if they're gonna just start swinging. I don't know what they're gonna do. But
Get the
Yeah,
battle
get the
map.
battle map.
yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Remember what I said? There are no shops in the area because even the slightest breach means they get arrested.
What are these? Are they humanoids? What?
It's hard to tell because of their armor. They're very large humanoids of some sort. But yeah.
Oh, maybe not. I don't know. I don't want to get into trouble here, but I think we're gonna do a little bit of a safer option here.
Okay.
I want to stand right where their halberds are crossed and peer into the middle distance and point and ask them, are those licensed? And cast Shadow Beast.
Is this nil? Okay.
Yes.
Is this a mental ability? So no somatic or verbal components?
Well, I'm a mystic. I don't cast.
Yeah, that's what I
so-
mean. It's all instant brain power, right? Okay.
Right.
Just making sure. In that case, give me a deception roll.
Ooh. Am I good at that? I don't think so. No, I'm not good at that. Oh no. Oh no. That's normal. Let's see. Deception. Okay.
Wow.
Mwah. Beliefs.
Wow.
Yeah.
Check that out. All right. So yeah, they look over and say, "Beasts from the shadow plane are not permitted in this area of the ward." And they immediately start charging out.
Is that safe? Like, I don't know if they could.
The two of them
Run,
go clank,
run.
clank, 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 clank down the stairs.
Run! And I'm telling the hounds to the shadows to run away, and they're like chasing the
Well-
shadows, and we're like, and I look over at Jimmy, and I'm like, "Oh."
Jimmy thinks. Nil, I appreciate the sort of can-do attitude, but you see, there's about 1,000 more of them in there, and they're all going to think the same thing.
That's big brain stuff there. Mhm.
Big brain time. Big brain time. Do we need to forward some documents? What do we need to do?
I really hate to say it, but probably, yeah. I don't know. If they're that hard up and about not letting anybody see them, they're probably not going to kill them tomorrow. We can move on to the rest of the job. Circle back to this after probably see the governors. They might have a better chance of getting us in.
Forging documents. I feel like somebody that I know has that skill set.
Hmm.
I
Jimmy turns
wonder.
to face Master, and Master is gone.
I poof back into existence and magically will pull out exactly the document they need since I have a forgery kit. And
But that does take some time and materials now. It's not instant.
Okay, no.
Yeah. We'll come
Maybe I
back
just
for
like, maybe I just like start writing on a piece of parchment like, no, no, crap, scrap, scrap. No, no, no. You know, maybe if you told me on the walk here that you needed that, I could have actually gotten something together by now. But scribble, scribble, scribble. No, no, no.
As we walk off, Jimmy's saying, "Honestly, I read the Hardhead manual and I got here, and then like a month later, I realized all the laws were fake."
Hmm. Interesting.
See, I thought it was going to be important, but the further away you get from literally this doorway, the less it matters.
Well, since we're not going in,
Hmm?
come on.
You,
Come on. You see the shadows come back.
you sure you want to be seen with them, based on their reaction?
I make this noise and gesture for them to come back, but not where they can see that I'm doing it to the
No, I
shadows.
mean, are you calling them back to you?
I want the guards to come running back to me, but I want to call them back and then disperse them before they actually reach
Okay.
us.
That's fair.
Because it's only a minute anyway, so I want the guards to come back to their posts.
That's fair. So, are you guys
Fair.
leaving this area?
Jimmy is making to leave, assuming nobody else is stopping him for good reason.
So they ran and chased the shadow. Do I know which one ran first?
They would equal. It's a regimented order.
Is it allowable in the Harmonium to exit your post for the reasons that they chose
Would
to
the
leave?
master know that? Or no?
Neil's just taking a shot in the dark here. Neil's just trying to sow dissent so that one guard turns against the other and is like, hey, you shouldn't have made us leave. You didn't.
I will say, short of you rolling
Just-
20s this evening, you're not going to sow dissent within the Harmonium.
Fair enough.
That is not how they operate.
Well, I tried. I just thought maybe I could point out that deserting their post was something they weren't supposed to do. They're supposed to guard the gate so we couldn't walk into the
No.
place.
They were guarding the gates against shadow beasts.
Yeah.
And then they ran inside their own base to chase them
Well,
around.
well,
the
that's
yard.
because there's 20
Commentary.
more inside the door.
Hmm.
Like they're
One does not simply walk into the
Yeah,
city
no, they're-
Hmm.
they're there as a courtesy, not as a guard.
Hmm.
Now we take off. We're on to the rest of the
All right.
job.
Yeah, I tried.
So I will say this, just to speed things along a little bit. Casing the location, right? I'm going to say that you guys go as long as you want, most likely on into the evening, as far as like canvassing the area, knocking on doors, talking to the local scrubs, avoiding Razorvine, and possibly even seeing weird modrons following you around from time to time, which gives you the creeps. You get no new information. Nobody's seen anything. Nobody's talking if they have. You definitely get the impression, though, that you are like nobody witnessed it. There were no witnesses. Whatever happened to Kylie, there were no witnesses.
What does everybody think? Would we return as a group to the office after a long day's canvassing? And do
I
our
don't
wrap-up
know.
meeting for the day?
I don't know. I think every minute we waste not meeting with the captive is a minute they could be killing him, as pursuant to
If
their
they
yada yada.
kill the captive, if they execute him, it will be a public display and there will be an advertisement.
So
Mhm.
I say we do that. Let's, if you don't mind, we can off camera it. Let's say drop by the governor's. I forget what ward they're in. You
But
tell me.
I'm going to say right out, like, you're not going to get to talk to the captive. Not at this point.
Oh no, this is
for the payment. The payment, they will hand you a pile of paperwork and tell you to fill it out and come back. It's a small
All right.
novella.
Jimmy. Jimmy tucks it into an interior pocket. It's gonna take a minute.
Come back when you're done.
We return to the office and Jimmy is looking a little dejected.
It's okay. It's a rough day. So, back at the office, is there anything you guys need to do for the evening?
Arrange to meet again the following day to continue working, especially this applies to Tember since he's not a regular member of the team and isn't resident here at the building.
If everyone is in agreement?
Yep. So Jimmy's got a bit of a sour look on his face. He says, "So, Tember, next time, same time tomorrow?"
All right.
Yes, that works for me. I will be back tomorrow.
All right, if those two are at the door again, don't let them in. But don't bother. I'll come down to you.
Can I ask you a question, though?
Yeah, sure. As long as it's not what any of these papers say.
I wouldn't ask about the papers.
Go
You
for it.
mentioned something about the woman saying the truth. What did she say?
Oh.
If you don't want to say, I understand, but
It's not really much of a secret, I guess. Half the damn sorcerers in the city ought to know. I went around asking long enough after I got here. Me and Master and a few other of our friends, we are not locals. We are not locals. We're primes, and our home plane, you might say, is no longer accessible. It suffered an unfortunate mishap when a couple of foolish and very powerful people brought down great darkness from the sky. So
that's... Was that where like you and Master and Nil came from?
Excuse you? I've been here.
Who's saying this? Is that no?
Right, like this is I live here. Like I don't wait. Different catastrophic event. Trust me.
Nah, just Master and me and a few other of our little party here. We are the final escapees as far as we can tell, and I have spent a lot of time looking. But,
Apologize, Nil. I just knew you weren't from here originally. I didn't know if you came with them or if you came later or earlier.
Yeah, I definitely was a new addition to this team.
Anyways, so what she said kind of struck a nerve, but for your own information, there was once a place called Cairn. Now there isn't.
Interesting.
Try not to think about it too much, and see you back here tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
As we close out the day, Tember, give me an insight check real quick.
Okay. Okay. All good. So you go your way, they go theirs.
The night closes out uneventfully. You guys get some rest, eat some dinner, drink some booze, whatever you need to.
Yeah, our
Mhm.
one thing.
Mhm.
If there's like a couch in the lobby area, the master's gonna sit down in trance there instead of going back to their house.
Okay. No,
Because all I was waiting for them is just almond milk.
there's actually plenty of room. The room with the hole in the floor is a junk room. You'd be able to find cots and chairs and stuff in there if you need one. You can drag one out to the lobby, or upstairs, even into the upstairs lobby if you want. Obviously, the library's kind of off limits. Nil will freak out if you try to go down there.
Zil,
Zil,
yeah, okay.
sorry.
So we'll go upstairs. I'll go. The master will go upstairs and trance there.
Okay. It's actually pretty cozy upstairs.
Just like on the sofa.
There's two large
Yeah,
cushions right in front of the fire where Pohan and Kong usually sleep during the day. But they have their own room, so.
Yeah. Nil's gonna follow and watch with a puzzled expression.
Alright.
And then change focus to not need to sleep.
Okay.
And like observe. And you'll see occasionally Nil will like touch the master on the shoulder like, you okay? Like,
Still not used to the trancing thing.
are you gonna not just not used to the trance, there's a plot thing for this. I don't know if you I'm trying to like weave in bits of the backstory that I sent you before.
No, it's all good.
About this, yeah. So it's this thing.
No, it's perfectly alright. Perfectly alright.
Because Nil can read his mind, so like.
The only one who can. No, that's perfectly alright.
So just like you gonna be good? You good?
Perfectly alright.
And all I hear as Nil bouncing around inside his skull at this moment is like bits and pieces of things that don't make any sense, like. And if I say this wrong, tell me, okay?
Okay.
Okay. Like, Pog Mahone, you're acting the maggot. Yes!
You were very, very close. Very, very close. That was actually really good. It's Pog Mahone.
Pog Mahone, you're acting the maggot.
Pog Mahone, you're acting the maggot. Very close.
Nice.
That's really good, actually. If I do say so myself. All right, so let's see here. All right, so yeah, the night passes uneventfully. Beyond that, you have your your evening goes down, and all is quiet. Morning comes.
Very nice.
Now, the second day that we're on here, has anybody got anything to do in the morning? I know Tember's probably going to make his way fairly early.
Well, I have to make a couple of rolls as well.
Exciting.
Yes. Right.
And private rolls.
Private secret rolls.
Just making sure I have everything I'm supposed to.
Well, of course you do.
phone, wallet, keys, bindings,
Mask. Let's not forget the mask.
mask, and of course.
Okay.
All good? Okay.
Yep. I assume you knew what I was doing.
Let me see here. Are you just rolling for your binding? Yeah.
Yeah. Just making my... to see if I made good ones or if I'm going to be a different person
No,
today.
you're good. All right, so over the course of the daylight proper, what is the plan?
I assume we fully did the canvassing that we spoke about yesterday. So we have gone to speak to the touts, we have gone to speak to the neighbors, and they turned up. Nothing.
Yeah, you actually did a very thorough canvassing yesterday. You're worn out from all the walking.
Let's roleplay a quick one with Master, who's there very early, so we could get in a quick conversation, I'm sure.
Master never left.
Normally, I would say that they're locking us out, but they were pretty forthcoming. I think nobody saw anything.
I'm still doing the requisite stretching, like
Gotta stay fit.
working the cricks out of my neck. And you hear me mutter something about being encased in stone is not fun.
No, that sounds awful. And then Jimmy just kind of continues talking at you.
Yeah.
At you.
yeah. Fair.
Yeah. Nothing suspicious going on with Kylie. Same old life she's had for the last little while. Neighbors didn't hear nothing, even with all the moving around they'd have to do. Fucking magic, I tell you.
Yep.
Can't get a good sequence of events. I really don't want to, because it's going to be swarming with dustmen, but I think we're going to Plague-Mort. Yeah, I know.
So, what all does Jimmy know about Plague-Mort?
Very little. I think, as we've established, Jimmy's understanding of the plains is better than it was when he lived on Cairn, but it's still far from robust.
Okay. So,
essentially, his statement is as far as it goes. He knows it is the border town to the Abyss, I believe, and that it is well loved by the Dustmen.
well loved is probably being gracious.
If Plague-Mort can be well loved by anyone.
Yeah. So, trying to think if anyone there would know what Plague-Mort is, actually.
Zill?
You actually can tap Zill for information still.
That would be one of the first things he does. He's aware of the shortcomings of his knowledge here. He would go and speak to Zill and see...
You go bang on the...
How hard is it to arrange passage?
Bang on the library door?
Yeah. See. Hey, Zill.
I'm going to pull Zill's little image up here, down in the library. What? No, it's Jimmy. Stop. What?
Buddy, I gotta ask you about some business matters. You available?
Yeah. You hear him coming up the stairs. He comes up. He comes out the door. You know that thing where somebody like slides the door open and then squeezes between it so you can't see through? Yeah, that's kind of what he does. He comes out and peeks behind him and shuts the door. What's up, Jimmy? Is it,
real sorry
is
to pull
it
you away.
time for rent? Are you late again?
No. We'll have rent this month. No problem there. I gotta ask you though. You've been here for so long, and I'm still getting used to all the whole plains. Work might be taking me down to Plague-Mort. How bad is it? How hard is it to get there?
Jimmy. Do you think you could maybe go ahead and pay this much rent before you go?
What I'm hearing is on a scale of 1 to go dig my own grave that we're closer to dig my own grave.
You know, it's a little bit of a doo-doo hole.
I kind of figured.
There's one really nice building that, the people running the place live in. Beyond that, it's a squalid slum filled with destitute depravity, murder, mayhem, sickening despair, and decay.
So are we talking like the West Hive?
Oh.
Or are we talking worse than the West Hive?
We're talking about dipping your toes in the river Styx.
God, I really don't like that, but work's work. You're wanting that rent. I'm wanting to pay you that rent and keep the business going.
But a dead tenant pays no rent.
I don't know. I feel like I've been on time.
But that's just. Do you know how hard it is to get somebody to rent an upstairs office in the Hive?
Yeah, I kind of figured it was a tricky one for you, given you rented it to me at all. I take your meaning on this one. I'm going to try the other avenues.
Look, I tell you what. If you're going to go, take a day, stock up. It's going to be a journey. It's not a quick one. Even if you got a portal, once you get there, you're not getting... I don't know what you're looking for, but you got to stay any amount of time. You're taking your life in your own hands. There's not exactly food vendors on every corner. Inns available to stay everywhere. You're... Stock up. Take a day. Stock up. I'll see if maybe I can find you a portal.
Will do. Really appreciate it, so.
No worries.
All right, I'll let you get back to Jimmy gestures at the door.
Yeah, no worries. He opens the door. You hear him going down the stairs. What? No. Stop. It's Jimmy. Jimmy, the guy upstairs. Jimmy. God, really? We're going to do this now? Really? Again?
Jimmy's walking upstairs. He goes, "Don't want to know. Do not want to know." All right, back to Master. So I talked to Zil.
So I heard. Soundproofing.
It would just make it harder for you to overhear. I don't really want that.
You want to hear this?
Oh, that? I'll just tune that out. He wants to soundproof that. That's his business.
Yeah.
Plague-Mort sounds like a real hellhole. Food and water are going to be pretty lacking. Not so much a problem for me, but like 3 out of 4, I imagine, might take some issue.
Yeah.
So...
Or not.
I really don't want to go to Plague-Mort, my god. Alright.
Same.
Let's wait for Tember to get here. See if we can do some digging into... God, just the abyss generally. This is a weird one.
How'd the paperwork go?
Oh, I've looked over it. This is not going to be... Might be easier to find the murderer than fill that out.
Yeah, it does not sound fun.
And I'm going to get Pohan to do it.
Oof, I don't know if you got enough
Well,
liquor or platinum for that.
At least your handwriting will match. Woof.
Have you seen his? Pretty as a picture. Does these little
Yeah.
curly cues on all the letters.
I could see him putting a pen between his paws intentionally between the wrong pads, just to imitate the way you write.
Pohan has excellent handwriting. Thank you very much.
Exactly.
Puts it in his non-dominant paw backwards. just-
Pohan is a 7,000-year-old foo dog.
I bet he can intentionally write badly though.
Well, yeah. Oh,
That's
yeah,
what I'm
no,
saying.
intentionally, sure.
Like,
Oh yeah, no, you
Yeah,
don't
you
want
should
it to match
practice.
mine.
no, yeah, no.
All he needs from me is the signature.
I could probably forge that.
See, you barely need me around to begin with. You got this place running so well.
So, as you guys are talking, I assume Tember's probably coming up.
Yes, I come up same as yesterday. I knock on the door.
Mm,
Jimmy goes down, lets him in.
Why?
Says-
Why? Be...
Timber, my friend, come upstairs. Upstairs, we're about to launch in for the
So,
day.
as Tember is being let in, a very familiar large gentleman on a boulette rides up, dismounts, and kind of stomps awkwardly over to you. Hello, Jimmy.
Hey, Arnie, how you doing?
I'm good, yeah?
So glad to hear it. What
It
brings
has
you
come
by?
to our attention that you might be in danger.
Tell me about it. Every damn day around
We-
here. What in
We
particular?
have received a letter from the killer.
Something about this guy.
He states that there will be
Familiar.
another death very soon.
Now, Arnie, might you have brought that letter
No.
with you?
Of course not.
If I might issue a guess, is it in the hands of the Harmonium at the city
Yes.
barracks?
Why?
According to the Harmonium Code, were I to go and request it as vital evidence in the case, would they be inclined to release it to me?
This is not a good idea, no.
I knew it.
I figured. I really do appreciate it, though, Arnie. You have a good one.
You would immediately surrender evidence that we need to people who won't let us get to it.
I recommend you stay inside, yeah?
Well, that makes my job a little harder, but I'm sure I'll work something out.
Very hard to work from the mortuary.
You just got to get your practice in. It gets easier every day.
I'm laughing at your laugh, not at what you just said.
Be careful, Jimmy. The killer is looking for new victims this evening. Stay inside.
Plot twist is him.
Will do, Arn. You have a nice one.
He nods.
Did I insight check the meatloaf before?
Oh, you're welcome to.
You did. Yeah, in fact, I think you rolled a 20 inside on him before, and you
Alright.
know his deepest character.
You could just say something to him in the goodbye that trips him up, like.
Lawful stupid. Very hard to trip up.
I was gonna say something like goodbye, Mrs. Doubtfire. Like,
Complicated inputs are merely discarded.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
he wouldn't even know what I'm talking
So
about.
he mounts up on his boulette. Takes off.
Adios.
Jimmy walks back inside.
They shut
You
the
know-
door behind us.
The chain of custody in this city.
You know, I bet if we just didn't do this job, Zill wouldn't remember what day it was for at least another 2 weeks. We could find another. I kid.
He might
I
not.
kid. The job is the job. But God, does that kind of sting a little bit. Sitting here, starving for evidence, and they're just keeping it all under lock and key down the Harmonium.
That's pretty classic.
Yeah.
You know, I can see why they usually don't bother to investigate the murders around here. It's an enormous hassle.
The bureaucracy.
All right. While Jimmy is somewhat struck for things to do, shall we take our break?
We can, if everyone is in accordance.
Yeah, I don't even know where I'm supposed to go with this. Like,
That's awesome.
I'm absolutely terrified. This is gonna be one
I have-
ending into the city today.
Oh no, the killer's going to show up tonight and kill all of you, so it's fine. Don't worry.
Oh well.
That would be such a shortcut. We can fight a killer.
As long as I can.
If he's not there
Yeah,
already.
mystery's over.
Yeah.
Why do you think my deception's
Oh,
so high?
Dun, dun, dun.
Honestly, like, that's a good backup strategy to just be as alluring a target as possible and hope you can outfight them. Really, really solves this whole investigating angle.
Very.
You know, I was asking myself why I stocked good berries a spell, but then here we
Now
are.
you know.
There you go.
So yeah, we will be right back after this message from our sponsor.
Alright.
And we're live once again. Day 2 of our recent current session. You've already gotten the weird warning from Ani.
Indeed. We were just about to discuss it in
Yes.
the office. So, Tember's here. We all truck upstairs.
I've moved you guys into the map room there.
Very good. So, bad news, bad news. Which one first?
Is that a question?
Yeah, you get to pick. Bad news 1, bad news 2.
Which bad news do you want?
Timber?
I know what the bad news is. I happened to walk into it.
He's got the inside scoop, but I was letting you choose, Master, which one you got first.
I don't know the difference, so I guess we'll go with the first one.
All right. We have been formally warned by the designated agent of the Harmonium, Arnold, that they've received a letter from the killer. No, we may not have it. Yes, it does threaten either our death or someone non-specifics.
That's always good.
That's a lot of bad.
Yep, that's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. Honestly, apart from the threat of another murder, I'd almost be grateful. Like, that'd be very useful evidence. If we had it. Picture, if you will, Timmy Turner's dad and his little trophy plinth. This is where I would keep my valuable evidence. If I had some.
But if you look on the map there, that there are a bunch of barrels and bottles behind you that are from the distillery. I mean, you've always got that.
Those can be the evidence stands for all the evidence the Harmonium doesn't want to give us. All right. So, second bad news. Yep, we were already talking about it. Plague-Mort's a shithole and we might have to go anyways. Timber, I don't suppose this is incredibly likely given what I've heard of it, but have you been?
Tember would either have been, yes, or be very familiar.
I have been. I've been there.
Wonderful. Well, no, that's a little exaggerated. I am still glad to hear it, though. Give me the inside scoop. We go to Plague-Mort, we got to canvass the place and see if there's any connection either to Kylie or to recent murders. What are our odds? How many people are going to try to kill us?
The odds aren't good. And as for who's going to try to kill you, everyone. It is. It is dark touched.
If you need any details, just let me know. I don't mind providing them for you.
Let's. Yeah, if you could give me some more, I'm not as.
Okay.
Me personally is not quite as familiar
No,
as
that's all good.
Tember would be.
Do you want me to just spout it out, or for sake of time?
Sure, you can share the information.
I'll give a very general description
with the group.
So, Tember will go on to let you know that Plague-Mort is a set of gray ruins. It's ill-kept hovels, open sewers, huddled around the grand gilded spires of the Arch-Lector's residence. Its streets are ridden with grime and disease. The air is usually filled with late autumn chill and the sound of hacking coughs. Almost nothing grows there, and what does is feeding on the lifeblood of something best kept dark. Weeds, bloodthorns, viper vines are the most common forms of vegetation. The best part of town is Merchant's Row. It's an old street that maintains a set of glittering facades. Street stalls and small shops sell dubious goods and slightly suspect meats. A blood should keep a sharp eye out for militiamen practicing a bit of the cross trade. Weapons sold in the row are very high quality and most prices lower than usual, but Merchant's Row is also always crowded because it's a safe haven where no blood may be shed by an unspoken agreement between the power players in town. Beyond that, the gate to the Abyss is the leftmost of three arches leading into the Arch-Lector's residence at the center of town. It leads to the plane of infinite portals. Enough of the abysmal stench of death and betrayal bleeds over to affect magic in Plague-Mort. You would probably be aware that necromancy spells are actually very powerful there. Very powerful. Beyond that, you've got the Arch-Lector and his bodyguards, which is a very large group of rowdy tieflings, alufiends, and cambions, who take whatever the hell they want and stomp on whoever tries to stop them.
Also, I may have had some experience with some of them before.
So it's pleasant. It's very nice. Probably going to want to build a summer home there.
Inwardly,
definitions
Jimmy
of
is
nice.
wondering if it would have an effect on him. He's a little curious, but mostly he's just even more disinclined to go.
Now, there's a part of Jimmy when it comes to the realms of the afterlife that is always a little nervous.
He's wondering occasionally if he's some sort of clerical error, and if he strays too close, somebody might take a moment to correct
Might be
it.
the best use of clerical ever made.
Isn't it? I tried so hard. I appreciate your
Oh, yes,
appreciation
yes.
for this.
It could not be more perfect. But yeah, this is not. You can tell already. This is not an easy place to go.
Anyone who can see Jimmy's face right now, it is scrunched into the face of a man contemplating a course of action that he does not care for and is anticipating he may have to do anyways. It's just that pure... Everything is drawing towards his nose. Every feature on his face is trying to move towards his nose at once. Let's take a day to think about that.
Yeah.
That's fair.
it's not
That sounds awful.
Ooh. Not
I've been
fun
some...
at all.
I've been some terrible places. Tember, we have been awful, awful places. That still doesn't sound great.
Coming from somebody who survived the end of his world.
I've been there, and that's putting it mildly. This place is not pleasant on the best of days. But I actually had an idea.
Please.
The mirror,
The Memer.
something altered it to speak those words. Perhaps we should look into what can do that or how it was done. See if we can inspect that particular one.
Well, I will,
Fantastic idea. Jimmy actually kept the meme.
and I will say, the natives, Tember in this case, will be aware that a Memer does have some degree of intelligence of its own. The easiest way to scramble one is actually to hit it with a feeble mind spell.
So Jimmy says, 1 second. And he walks across the hallway to the office. He opens up a box. The box has been stuffed with a blanket, and he pulls out the meme.
I am in hell. I am in hell. I am in hell. I am in hell.
Sure are, buddy. He carries it back into the other room.
Steady repeating that phrase.
He plonks it down on one of the desks and says, that sounds like such a more constructive use of our time than going to Plague-Mort.
So, Timber, what is your plan here?
I was gonna... At first, I'm gonna start with... Perhaps we should investigate the outside, see if there's any visible...
So you want to actually just investigate the Memer itself. You want to take a look and try and figure out what happened and the details.
That would be the first part, and then if it was altered, perhaps there was some effect.
Yeah,
Because I know you said a feeble mind.
that'll
could
scramble one.
confuse it. But the fact that it repeated the same words and, from my understanding, spoke to Jimmy in that particular manner,
Unless Jimmy's hearing things.
that seemed more. That seems more focused, and that seems more effort. So that might be something to investigate as well. Is if a spellcaster casts a spell, perhaps there's some effect or.
All right. So what you're doing is very involved work. You're going to
Yes.
need basically a place to sit and work on this thing, probably for the most part of the day.
You are gladly provided use of that desk in the corner, and whatever resources you might need, if they're here, they can be given. Probably, I don't know, what do you think Master Nil and Jimmy would be doing there, Master Miss? Checking the notes?
Probably. I mean, you're the only one who can read them, so Nell's just looking at the notes and looking at you, and then looking at the notes and then looking at you, like.
All right. So the three of you are going to go over the details that you've collected, kind of just do internal work.
We're supposed to read this? Know what any of this
Tember,
says?
you're going to be working on the skull. So I tell you what, Jimmy, Master, Nil, whichever one of you has the higher investigation skill, give me an investigation roll at advantage.
I'm sitting
I
on
was going to
plus
ask for someone
9.
to assist me.
No. Oh,
4
okay.
4.
4. What? Yeah. Does one of you guys want to help Tember instead?
Master will help Jimmy. Nil will help
All right.
Tember.
That's fine. So yeah, give Jimmy or Master, whichever one he has the higher.
That's
All right.
Jimmy.
All right. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Give me an advantage investigation roll. Very,
There you go.
very good. All right.
I need to find another point somewhere so I can at least theoretically get a 30. I really want to do
Yeah.
that someday.
So your investigation, based upon the details that you've collected, you think you have a very good profile built of your killer, based on the details that you've done. It has obviously had to be somebody big enough to overpower Kylie. Also, somebody intelligent enough to outsmart her. Kylie was not known for being stupid. They were also overcome her pet and her guards and line things up in such a way that the Harmonium took her best mate away. So unless he is guilty of the crime himself, somebody was able to manipulate the legal system. So you've built a kind of a, based upon those bits of information and the details you pulled from the crime scene, you actually have a profile of your killer.
Very nice.
It would be amazing if it were him, because he would never have to talk to anyone.
It would be. And Timber and Nil, we're going to do an Arcana for you guys. Once again, at advantage, whoever's got the highest.
Plus 4 for me.
Plus
There you
6.
At advantage.
I help.
Let me just make sure that it's not higher than that at the moment.
Special secret stats. Might we also determine that they are either involved in some truly deep ritual magics or possessing some artistic talents and the deep level insanity to make use of them?
That would be too hard to tell based on what you found so far. And Timber, yeah, you're at a loss on this one.
Yeah.
But 13. I will say, this takes the better part of the day. Evening has fallen. It's getting really late. As you guys do this, Master, you've kind of gotten frustrated at this point. Probably kind of wandered off a bit. Nil, Timber, you guys are in the main lobby there, doing your thing. Also equally frustrated. Just this thing has been repeating the same phrase at you all day long. You feel like smashing it on the wall. Jimmy.
I'm in hell. I'm in hell.
Yeah.
I'm in hell.
Jimmy, you're
you're
back in the office. Just intently going over the paperwork that you have. Just you feel like you've missed something. It's bugging the bejesus out of you. And as you stop for a second, rub your eyes, stretch your back out a little bit, you open your eyes and realize that almost without you even noticing, a strange wispy mist has begun to fill the room. Neither cold nor warm, slightly gray, slowly filling the room around you.
It's like
I've
there's
been here
something we're
before.
just not seeing. I don't know what be the thing. Think.
Jimmy's growing a little wise to the trick. He closes his eyes and focuses on his hearing.
Okay.
To hear any movement in the room.
Okay. Give me a perception roll.
Aye.
Okay. You close your eyes, you focus as hard as you can. And although you don't hear any movement, you suddenly get the sense that you're no longer alone.
You suddenly feel.
What was that?
She cut it out there. Not that I need to hear it, but I'm not there, so.
In a location with no windows if we can handle it.
Oh.
Hmm?
Prem, are you cut out on your mic? Yeah, I see you lighting up. I don't hear anything coming through.
Yeah, I can't hear you over the Discord either, although, I can hear you in real life.
Benefit.
Nope. Still no.
Might need to bump out of Discord and come back. I don't know. If it's Discord, you might have an external thing causing it.
Yeah, I don't hear anything at all.
No, now you're not even lighting up.
And we do want to hear you.
Yes, this is
Very
very
important.
It's crucial. Not that I know what's happening. I'm still rage quitting over here.
Here.
I am actually singing along to "I'm in Hell."
I'm in hell. I'm in hell. I'm in hell.
I'm in hell. I'm in hell. I'm in hell.
Heard the notification for you entering, but not anything that you
Well,
said.
nothing.
Yeah, no, I can hear you in the background of Jimmy's, but I can't hear you.
Unplug and replug your
That was a
microphone.
weird one.
Yeah, Discord is really strange sometimes.
Did you hit a button? Is there a mute switch on your headphones?
Even my thing.
There is a mute switch, but she has triggered it. It's not
I'm
muted
sure
right
it's a
now.
lunar flare.
Yeah.
Gotta be.
That's what happened with me last week. As I was saying, it turns out my daughter turned on the mute switch for this mic.
Yeah, I'm sure it's a lunar flare.
Yeah. You know, this mic boom arm is working surprisingly well to hold this wig that I'm not gonna wear. For me to
There you
bust
are.
out.
Hey! It worked.
Happened
Hey.
in like fucking ages and literally at the most important moment.
Hmm.
Anyways,
There
okay.
you
Got
are.
it though.
Back to the character.
So yes, the mist fills the room. Jimmy gets the sense he's no longer alone.
And you suddenly feel a pair of hands on your shoulder, and a voice from a familiar haunt says, "Jimmy, I have something urgent I need to discuss with you. Privately. In a location with no windows if we can manage that."
Jimmy opens his eyes back. Are you in front of him? You're behind him.
Behind him, but looking down at you.
He tilts his head back and he says, I have good news. No windows here.
True.
True. That bookcase though? There's a window I see on the map. If there's supposed to be no windows, then the
Oh
map
no,
is
it's
wrong.
boarded up.
All right. I don't want anyone getting peery on me here.
Well, the walls are a little thin, but I assure you, all of my associates are trustworthy. Tember, however, is not yet my associate.
It's not necessarily them I'm worried about here.
Ah, well, whole hive's outside, so perhaps we should just be a little quiet.
I know the hardheads put you on Kylie's case.
Yeah, and it has not been going well so far, not gonna lie to you.
Well, I may have a bead on the bashers who put Kylie in the dead book. And she pulls out a shirt, and as she does, she shows you the sleeve of the shirt that has a bloody handprint on it.
Okay. Does Jimmy recognize this as You know, what size is the shirt? Does he have any intuition as to whose this might be? Right off the bat.
You can try an insight check.
Yeah. I'll do a quick insight check just to see. Jimmy likes to impress people.
Yeah, go for it. It looks familiar, but it's nothing ringing any bells just yet.
All right.
It's just a man's shirt.
Whose top you got there?
From one of my associates, I should say. Earlier tonight, I got a tip that Dib's corpse was for sale, and I sent one of my associates to go gather information. A tip led him to the Shattered Temple in the lower ward, and when my associate got there was no Dib. But there was a hooded figure making an art installation out of a dead sod. They made a swipe at him before he ran off and chased him for miles. That's why the shirt has a bloody handprint on it and even a tear on the collar. That's from the killer.
Do you need it or would you mind leaving it here?
I brought it here for you specifically because I knew that bloody handprint would be good evidence.
It do help. Do help when you see your associate again. Offer my thanks for the sacrifice of a shirt.
Yeah, here's what else I know. From him. The killer was dressed as one of the Aether whenever he got to the Shattered Temple. His face was mostly covered by the cowl that he was wearing, but the darkness that covered his face was very thick and unnatural. In my best opinion, perhaps some sort of magical darkness. The figure also radiated very unnatural cold, and of the skin that could be seen, very unusual pallor, but for all intents and purposes looked human.
One sec, Jimmy. As I type my notes, Jimmy is scratching this down in his book.
The Jimmy scratch.
The ghost is going to look over and be like, Jimmy, this is the barmiest handwriting I've ever seen.
You should roll to interpret it. It'll be a lot of fun.
What do I need to roll?
Hell, church.
Arcana? We'll stick with Arcana.
All right. No.
Yeah, I can't make sense of it.
This is barmier than even the automatic writing I get whenever I'm leading a seance.
You know, I used to feel bad about it, but it's proven helpful these days. Makes it hard to read over my shoulder. He's still just scratching away. When was this, by the way?
Just a couple hours ago.
So your associate fled while they were still putting in another installation?
Right in the middle of it, just tumbled upon the scene in the middle of finding out information for me on Dib.
Where at again?
The Shattered Temple in the lower ward. That's where the next murder case is going to be.
Church? How far away is that?
The lower ward? It's a decent trek. Further than you want to go, probably in a quickness.
Shattered Temple. Is that the Chaos Men?
No, that's the Aether. The Defilers.
Ah, shit. Don't know if I'd rather the Chaos Men. Think anybody else come across it?
If they have, then they'd certainly be put in the dead book. My associate was lucky.
What time is it, Church?
It's just after peak. Yeah,
Just after peak, it's still daylight?
no, it's like after midnight, after peak. Anti-peak,
Anti-peak.
sorry.
Anti-peak.
Yeah, lower ward is it's if we're using directionals, let's say it's the ward west of the hive. So you'd have to go all the way, like long ways through the hive and into the lower ward to get there. Which during the day is not that bad. You've made the trek to get to the ladies' ward, but
During the
during
night.
the night it could be a different thing, especially with a serial killer running around.
Indeed. After a moment's contemplation, Jimmy says, well, shit. If the Harmonium are going to make me do the governor's paperwork, I'm going to make them do my dirty work. Ghost, you have saved me a trip to Plague-Mort, and I can't tell you how grateful I am for that.
Yeah, you shouldn't be going to Plague-Mort, Jimmy.
I'd really rather not, and now looks like I don't have to. I'm going to sick the Harmonium on it, basically. They can secure the crime scene. Damned if I'm trekking across the hive and into the Shattered Temple in the middle of the night.
I wouldn't recommend it.
Listen, I understand you're a little leery about this at times, but you can meet the team, you know.
I will go and meet the team in my own time, Jimmy. Individually.
I will let you do your thing. I'm just going to tell you that Tember accepted. Don't really know Tember yet. Apart from that, they are my family. I don't lie to them. They will know you've been here, and they know we chat.
That's fine. There are lots of rumors that float around the cage about me.
What am I doing? Am I still outside?
I imagine you and Nil and Timber are kind of discussing the events of the day out in the lobby.
We've turned into a 3-part a cappella group singing I'm in hell.
Do I have to do that?
Well, you don't have to join that 3-part
can I
acapella
see it?
group if you don't want to.
No, I just want to see if I noticed that Jimmy's in his office by himself again.
Well, I mean, you left him there.
So I went outside because I was upset. Am I out the entire time?
You're in the lobby with everyone else as far as I know.
Can I come back in?
It's up to you. Do you want to?
A certain someone would not like that, just FYI.
Okay.
But it'd be really funny.
I'm gonna try it.
What are you trying to do specifically?
I don't want to derail Prim's stuff though.
No.
Are you okay?
It wouldn't be. You wouldn't be derailing. I'm just saying, like.
I will say, did you?
You may get a powerful negative reaction.
Did you go outside, Master?
Well, I'm just going off what you just said that I had.
No. You don't have to do
We can make
anything. I
outside.
just kind of figured that's what happened. Did you go? But
I mean, I don't think the character would storm off, but that's.
oh no, not storm off. Just stretching your legs. You've been cooped up going over paperwork all day.
Because the ghost only capes in with Jimmy's.
Did you go outside though? Because it'll make a difference if you did.
I don't think it's wise to go outside at this hour, really. I mean, these aren't the most observant people. They might not even notice if I don't come back. They'd probably be like, oh, the master slunk away to his house, you know. That's why we don't see him. Maybe he's still here.
Well,
shenanigans ensue. So, like, I don't think
if you
that
didn't, I have a something else I need to do.
I don't think I go outside.
Okay,
The
no,
building.
that's perfectly all right.
But I could I could compromise and say that I left the room so that this works for you guys if that's
Oh
what
no!
you want.
While you're in the lobby with Nil and Tember, Pohan. Let me see here. Brings you the paper.
Huh. Thank you.
So yeah, there you go. So you're reading the paper while this is going on.
Takes 3 seconds to read this quickly.
Maybe. It could be written Jimmy's
Jimmy?
handwriting.
Is this typed or is it handwritten? Because I don't know if...
No, it's definitely typeface. But the interaction from Pohan bringing that up to you takes a few minutes, giving them time to discuss what they need to.
Oh, and Jimmy, one more thing I should add. My associate did see the head of the corpse that they were working on in the head of the killer, so don't worry about any means of trying to contact the poor sod spirit through using its body as any sort of proxy, because there's going to be another memer there.
Is there a way to, like, look at the door and see if it's closed?
The door is closed, yes.
Bust in, it's gonna be funny.
Tell you what, Bryn, give me a perception check, and Jimmy.
Yeah, just
All right.
open door, whatever. Is it open?
It's
I don't
definitely
know.
closed.
You would lock it, right? Like,
Probably not lock it, but yeah, Bryn, you hear
I open
footsteps
it?
coming.
All right, I'm going to cast invisibility. Because no.
So you see Bryn sit up upright, look towards the door, and just poof, gone.
Does invisibility have components?
Does it?
It does, but Bryn had her crystal ball in hand.
I just mean in the sense that Jimmy would see you casting a spell.
Well,
yeah. Jimmy saw her like 2 days ago. Tossed a coin at her after she
tried to hit her with a coin. But yeah, no, she poofs out just as the master is walking in.
You see Jimmy holding a shirt with a bloodied handprint on it. His notebook's open on the desk.
Where'd that come from?
Got a visit from the ghost. Doing half our damn job for us lately.
Well, that might not be the best news for whoever that is.
They lived, apparently.
I just got the chant that mentions them in it, so...
Ah, shit, already?
Yeah.
Just gonna sick the harmonium on it before somebody else got to the scene.
Are you sharing it?
Thank Pohan for that, yes. I'll just hand it to him and be like, extremely suspicious of whoever this is, but alright. You know, once again,
Jimmy
I'm out
takes
of the
a
loop, but
moment.
I'm fine with that, apparently, if that's what you want. Whatever.
So yeah, I've shared it.
He shakes out the paper and gives it a scan. Allow me a moment to make that scan.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It's not like it was emotionally difficult for me to ask you to be a part of things or anything. It's fine.
Jimmy told you immediately what he had been doing.
Sure.
What even is this picture, though?
It's not Master's fault that the ghost poofed in when he just happened to not be in the room.
Can we talk about the bad hair day? Whoever this is having?
Oh, that is.
It is a specifically. That's a bad hair year.
That is a creature called a Gautier.
That is a bad hair day.
Yeah.
Food,
That is a creature called a Gautier. Not to be confused with Gaucher.
Oh no. That's even worse, right?
Yeah.
Yikes.
A Gautier, yes. That is a creature called a Gautier.
Hmm. It appears to have arms. That's about all I know.
Jimmy's
Weird.
finished reading the paper, sits it back down. Well,
The master
I think we
starts
can
looking around.
probably we can rule out the ghost.
Do I need to roll a
For what?
perception or to see if I see anything? Because he just kind of pops. He pops back into the office, and Jimmy's just standing there with a bloody handprint shirt. Like,
And probably still a low-lying mist.
I don't think you're supposed to.
No,
be
that
touching
disperses
Yeah.
after a minute.
Mist is gone.
That's kind of sus.
What are you trying to determine?
Are there any vents? See if there are any vents nearby. See if there's.
I mean, I
I don't know. It's weird. It's just weird that this person just pops in, hands him a bloody shirt, and pops out.
So are you okay? You're trying to determine if the ghost is still around.
I mean, I don't
It,
know. All I know is
I'd
what
say
he
give
told
me a
you know.
perception roll. I will be completely fair.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Perception. The most sacred of chance. Big money, no whammies.
No whammies here.
No whammies!
No whammies, but no, you. I will say it's a decent roll. Your eyes show you nothing.
That was the wrong
Your
game.
no, sorry. Your eyes show you nothing. Your ears hear nothing. But your olfactory sense smells the smell of sweat. Faint. Very faint. Not anything in particular. It's just it might be the office, it might be Jimmy, but something faintly.
It's not Jimmy.
Jimmy's not alive, so he
and
doesn't breathe, so he doesn't
and
sweat.
a slight hint of brimstone. Just a very slight hint of brimstone in the air.
Can I tell where it is?
No, it's a very ambient odor.
Kind of.
Yeah. Plus, your sense of smell isn't that good.
Not like I'm a bloodhound
No.
or anything. Ooh, you know what I just remembered?
What might that be?
I have a companion whose sense of smell is better than mine. Oh my goodness, we have struck gold.
Are you pulling Snaky out?
I think I might have cracked the case, boys. I might have cracked the case. So my overly chatty flying servant is like watching me in my blunt force trauma nose try to smell something and looks over at me like, what are you doing? You gonna start crawling around on your belly?
Do you want to try and use your familiar?
Play to your strengths, man. That's all I'm saying.
All right.
I don't even
What's
know
the perception on Snaky Boy?
It's probably worse than mine. Why would I even do this to myself?
Does the
That's
animal
true.
companion have in their little stat block that they have advantage on smell rolls or something?
Senses. Passive perception 11. No. Actions. No.
He's got a cold.
This is this is so stupid. What am I even doing? I need to see what my stats are first, right? My stats perception is wisdom.
Yes.
So this thing is gonna have a +1. so it's not at any advantage.
It's not even a rogue.
But it could try, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. I don't even know. I don't even know what it would do. Like, it's just...
You're good. Jimmy sees you, like, actively trying desperately to find the ghost. And he says, I haven't had any luck with that yet myself. She is really good at that.
What did he even roll? Just wisdom?
Yeah.
I can't even roll that.
There you go.
Did it roll?
It did. Nicely
Okay.
done.
Yeah,
Alright,
if
no,
he had
no.
shoulders, if he
The
had
worst.
shoulders, he'd shrug at you right now.
Yeah. Jimmy
Keep focused
continues.
on me.
It's some sort of magic trick, I'm pretty sure. Couldn't really tell you which one, but goes invisible, pops in and out. Haven't seen the door open once. Really, it's like having you around, being honest.
Nice. Wonder if I could learn some of these tricks.
She's a little leerable. I hope soon enough she'll make some introductions so I can stop looking like a crazy guy.
When will I gain a level? Rubs hands eagerly.
Nah. Oh well. For now, we got this. We got a little information about the crime scene. I think tomorrow, well, today, once it's light enough that we don't have to fight our way through the hive, we go down, we have a look. Hopefully the Harmonium's still keeping the place locked down. If not, maybe we bully our way through a crowd.
Are they gonna let you have access to the crime scene since they didn't call you?
They damn well better.
Are we fighting?
Far be it from me to fight my own client to do a job, but there's still such a thing as professional pride, even when you're working for the Harmonium.
And just so you know, I did just repost the interactive map of Sigil in the Sigil Confidential chat if you do need to take a look.
Appreciate it. Good to have that
The
around.
Shattered Temple in the lower ward, or the, what did I say it was? Yeah, the lower ward is the larger purple flag symbol on the east side. If you need to know where it is. But yeah, just so you know.
All right.
So you've got the paper, a second murder, the eyewitness account from the associate of the ghost. You've turned up nothing from studying the memer, but you have built a somewhat believable profile of your killer, at least based upon one murder.
With new physical details.
Oh. Did you say to Jimmy, I was typing at the time, so it was hard to chat, that the killer was a large person?
No. She said, weird pallor to their skin, for all intents and purposes, looked human, though.
Okay.
And radiated cold. And had, like, an unnatural darkness underneath the hood. Seemed magical. So, you know, that... that is a little hint, nudge, to some things that, like, Jimmy may have seen before.
Oh
Ghost
yeah,
would not know,
radiated
but-
cold. He remembers various planes that he has at least come into partial contact with. But I think we might have to save that for another day.
This is fair. This is fair.
Well, when Master leaves the room again, the ghost has one final word for Jimmy.
Okay. Is the master leaving? No.
This is sus. I'm not leaving. You think I'm leaving? You kidding me?
You could always send it as a message.
Yeah, not to block you or anything, but I just don't think it would be in character Something sus here. Leaves the room. No.
Are you nervous?
This is weird.
It is weird.
Local cryptid.
Local cryptid. We have attracted the attention of yet another powerful oddball. I don't know,
that's-
Master. This one seems alright, but she's kinda got an odd manner about her. It reminds me of something. I just can't
Fair
quite
enough. Fair enough.
place.
Fair enough.
Yes.
Hey, Church. I'm sure you remember since you did it. Jimmy's seen 2 changelings in his life, in their native forms.
True. This is true.
It was a long time ago now, and there's no real reason for him to make the connection, so please set me a very hard roll, and I'd like to roll on
Fair enough. Let's do it.
it. Tell me what I'm up against. Tell me
Let's do insight.
Gotcha.
Distant echo. Dude,
Dude.
for no
Dude.
reason.
Yep, not making the connection.
Thank you, Church. Thank you for keeping me
Always.
honest. Jimmy says, something so familiar. So familiar. I just
It's
don't
all
know
the Wickle tongue spirits.
I gotta stop drinking the special. It feels good, you know. I can still taste that stuff, but leave some weird thoughts in your head. Let's go tell Tember goodbye, or hell, let him crash if he doesn't feel like walking through the hive at night. Let's head
And
back.
as you say that about the spirits, you hear Pohan from the next room go, "That's more for me, Jimmy."
But Jimmy will gesture you out the door, Master. We're gonna be leaving.
Fair.
This is the ghost's opportunity.
And I keep talking.
You can catch
Yeah.
him with a whisper as he leaves.
Yeah, so as this happens, like you will feel an invisible hand on your shoulder and a whisper in your ear that says, "Jimmy, the killer could not have had any idea that I was the one being peery, yet somehow this killer did know that it was me researching and looking into this. So for all intents and purposes, for what it's worth, do be careful."
Jimmy gives you the high sign with his hand, gives you the okay.
So just to point out too, so it's not lost, it probably isn't, but I think this is the first time the ghost has shown concern for you.
Mhm. Oh yeah, previous concern has been largely
Yes.
for her.
So this is a change that you would notice.
Yes, Jimmy does take note. This is really his business, is social stuff, so he tries to catch these things. So he gives the high sign, and as he walks out the door, he says to Master in front of him, "You ever feel like everybody's got magical eyes but you?"
The elf laughs at the human.
as you walk into the
Jimmy?
lobby together, all you hear is, "I am in hell. I am in hell. I am in hell. I am in hell."
I am in hell. I am in hell.
Timber, let's get you away from that thing. It was a good day's work, but I think it's starting to take a toll on you.
I don't know what you mean, but all right. Same time tomorrow.
Same time tomorrow. Hell, you can crash on the couch if you want. It's, past anti-peak in the hive. I don't know how confident you are.
Yeah.
I I feel confident. The darkness has no fear for me.
If you got the swagger, you got the swagger. Don't let them keep you down. Same time tomorrow.
And I walk out the door, walk out of ice shot, and I summon a magical darkness around myself. And I just walk in, disappearing into the shadows.
The ones that he created.
That works, but make sure you don't step into an ooze
Yeah.
puddle.
Or razor vine.
Interesting.
Oh, he can
That
see
character.
just
You
fine.
know,
I can
don't stumble into your limb.
Oh, I see just fine in
Your
this.
limb's still out there somewhere, I should point out. Yes, the eye box. He's still out there.
Yeah. There's actually a few things from the last case that Jimmy would look into or ensure were resolved, but there's just no time in the middle of this. Maybe we'll get a free day here at
Very
some point.
possible. So, Tember's on his way out. You guys have kind of closed your day 2 for the evening. The new murder has hit the papers and your awareness. I think that's, unless there's anything pressing, we'll call it here for tonight.
I have
What you
one
got?
thing. Just as
Okay.
favor. This time, as the master sits down to try to trance, Neil taps him on the shoulder and is like, "Are you okay?" And the master's like, "Honestly, no."
Uh-oh. So, the master's
So that'll be
master's showing some disturbance there. Is that what I'm getting? Yes. Is that right?
I think it is no voice time from Master.
Oh,
Miss.
okay.
This is not saying anything and letting the scene stand.
Oh,
as it
okay.
is.
Yes.
Ah.
Okay. No, that's fair. That's fair. I'll let that go. All right. So we will draw to a close with that. Excellent job, everyone. Nobody's dead. Well, I mean, in the party. Somebody is dead. I think you guys have a few more clues. I think there might be a few that you've missed.
Oh, that happens.
But we've definitely moved it along. So, yeah, for those of you joining us or watching after the fact, thank you very much. You're always welcome. We are going to return to Sigil in a week after next. And next week, of course, we'll be returning back to the world of Cairn. And this Monday, we will be continuing Beyond the Veil of Twilight, our new Feywild adventure. Definitely don't want to miss that because it's definitely chalking up to be interesting. That's putting it lightly. But yeah, thank you for joining us.
Very.
Thank you for joining us here at Sigil Confidential. And good night.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.